conference with the German and the Norwegian Minister of Defense. We're going to have 2 statements and then time for questions. Mr. Pistorius.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, Tora and I met with our Canadian counterpart and Canada's Minister of Industry, David and Melanie, and we had excellent talks with both of them. We are here in Ottawa to further expand our maritime security partnership with Canada. The reason for this is obvious. Russia is not only threatening the eastern flank and sending drones to Europe, it is also active in the North Atlantic. Here too we need to be vigilant and maintain our ability to act. Together, we want to improve our protection of the critical maritime infrastructure and sea lines of communication in the North Atlantic. More specifically, we are increasing our presence on the northern flank. For one thing, we are doing this in the form of joint training and exercises. The German Navy, for example, most recently participated in Canada's Arctic exercise Operation Nanook for the first time. We are learning from each other, especially when it comes to the high north and to the Arctic. By relying on each other's resources, we can save time and money in the years to come. All this will increase efficiency. These joint exercises are making us stronger. As you know, Germany and Norway are jointly procuring U-212CD submarines. This will bring enormous benefits. We will save money on procurement, our troops can train together, and we will be able to jointly use our logistic assets. Cooperation between Norway and Germany is bearing fruit. Only last December, Bjarne, Tora's predecessor, and I broke the ground for our common submarine shipyard in Bergen. Canada could benefit from joining our submarine cooperation, and the benefits are obvious. We are offering the most advanced conventional submarines worldwide, including superior anti-submarine warfare technology. These submarines provide a 24/7 underwater situational picture, silent propulsion technology, and a longer operating range. From the Baltic Sea to Hudson Bay and in Arctic waters, of course, because this is where Russia and China are most active. We must be able to detect their submarines when they are spying on us, provoking us, or even threatening us with cruise missiles and missiles that can be equipped with nuclear warheads. And we must protect our critical undersea infrastructure. We have a solution for this, a state-of-the-art submarine fleet of the same type. Our collaboration would range from sharing shipyards and logistics on both sides of the Atlantic to exchanging our crews and even in the Indo-Pacific. During our talks, we also discussed future support for Ukraine, of course. We know that in Canada we have a powerful partner by our side. Canada is actively involved in providing financial and military support to Kyiv. For example, as part of the UDCG, the Ukraine Defense Contact Group. Canada has trained 44,000 troops for the Ukrainian Air Force. Canada is participating in our Immediate Action on Air Defense, or IIAD, initiative by financing IRIS-T systems. And Canada is looking into a participation in Pearl, the prioritized Ukraine requirements list. And I'm also very glad about the fact that Canada has offered protection from Putin's bombs to so many Ukrainian refugees. All this shows us that we can count on Canada. Our transatlantic bond is strong. And Canadian and German troops are serving side by side in the Baltic region in Eastern Europe. Together with the United Kingdom, we are supporting our Baltic partners in effectively deterring Russia. Germany and Lithuania with a permanently deployed brigade, Canada and Latvia, and the UK and Estonia. We welcome Canada's plans to increase its military presence in Latvia by 2026. As we are deploying our German brigade to Lithuania, it is important to us to maintain an exchange with our partners. The 3+3 format has proven to be a great platform for this exchange. It is invaluable when it comes to coordinating our defense of the Baltic region. And let me add 2 personal remarks. It is my 3rd visit to Canada and Ottawa, and I'm really enjoying being here. I know the people I'm meeting, most of them. We had very fruitful discussions with the committees in the Parliament and the House of Commons today, and I'm very grateful for the hospitality and the openness in which we conduct all that discussions. And second remark, I'm very happy that Tore decided to go with me to Canada, because we have a very close partnership and friendship since we met a couple of months ago, the first time when you came in office. And we are really close with each other when it comes to cooperate together, when it comes to bring Norway and Germany and Europe together, more together when it comes to achieve our security in the High North, in the North Atlantic and beyond. So thank you for being with me. I give the floor to you.
Thank you, Boris, and thank you for everyone coming here. Let me first say that I'm accompanying Boris on this trip because Norway is a proud partner and a happy customer buying German submarines. We went into this deal in 2017, and we've been developing the partnership since then. And I think that we have to think about this also as a kind of the new NATO. The new NATO stepping up with Finland and Sweden becoming new members after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which have made Europe again a battleground of aggression. So for us, it's important when we are now going to spend more money within NATO, up to 5% of GDP and 3.5% in military measures the next years. We have to bring together the nations in NATO in bilateral strategic partnerships, or trilateral or multilateral, because we have to standardize. Ukraine's experience with all the donations from good allies is that a lot of the military equipment don't fit together. So we have to have interoperability, we have to integrate our military services, and we have to buy the same weapon systems. And by going into these strategic partnerships with Germany, buying similar submarines, we can develop the submarines together over the decades. And Norway also has demands of offset of industrial cooperation of this. And during these 4 years, the last 4 years, we have already seen that we have 600 million euros in contracts for Norwegian industry for this partnership. And we will develop that further. And for the decades to come, we will develop the submarine as a platform, because we have to adapt to new realities. We have to adapt to what we're learning from the battlegrounds in Ukraine. We have to adapt for changing environments, and we also have to integrate more. So with similar submarines, we will maintain them together, we will develop them together, we will train the crew together, and hopefully also we will sail together so we can share crew, which is also a kind of hedging in different times, and also bringing redundant systems together. Norway, we are a maritime Arctic nation. 9% of the Norwegian population lives in the Arctic, and 90% of the Norwegian population lives 10 miles or closer to the coast. And Norway has the 2nd longest coastline in the world, heavily beaten by Canada. We earn our wealth in our offshore and maritime environments. Both our oil and gas industry, now we're building offshore wind industry, but also with the fishery, aquaculture industries, and our huge maritime sector, we earn our export and our wealth. So for us to be a good nation technologically and developmentally in the maritime areas is important. But first and foremost, according to security, we are the eyes and the ears of NATO in the north. Because close to the Norwegian border, the Kola Peninsula, with Russia's Northern Fleet, with the strategic submarines, with the nuclear warheads, and the multi-role submarines, which can attack both infrastructure, subsea, but also the transport lines, transatlantic transport lines, they are still intact. Putin is losing heavily on the battleground in Ukraine. He has lost 1 million soldiers, and each day he loses between 1,000 and 1,500 soldiers on the battleground in Ukraine. But we know, 24/7, we're watching this, that the Northern Fleet is intact, it's developing, they're testing new weapons, hypersonic, they're testing new torpedoes, nuclear-driven, to threaten our allies, but also Norway. And we're watching this developing close to our border. So for us to have strategic partnership with Germany, developing submarines, but also to invite Canada into this cooperation as partners is important. We think that Canada will strengthen this partnership. With Canada as a maritime Arctic region, they know about how to operate in these areas. They share the same security theater as us. They are threatened by the nuclear warheads from Russia, as the same as the whole alliance. And Canada is strong within AI, they are strong within, they have mineral resources, and they are a modern nation. They have manufacturing capacity. We think that this will strengthen this partnership, and we think also that this will develop these submarines in the future to come. So for us, inviting Canada into this trilateral agreement, we think that is both a sign on the new NATO, building multilateral partnerships within NATO, but also we think Norway also can bring both our technology to Canada, but also to earn from learning more from Canada within the sectors Canada is strong in. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sandvik. Thank you, Mr. Pistorius. Now we have time for some questions. Carsten Hoffmann, DPA.
Microphone?
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yes, Carsten Hoffmann, German news agency, DPA. Minister Sandvik, as your country is more experienced in the Arctic than Germany, how prepared is NATO to stand its ground against a possible Russian aggression? And what are the weak points that need to be fixed urgently? And Minister Pistorius in German, if I may, was sind Ihre Erwartungen an eine Zusammenarbeit mit Kanada, also Norwegen, Deutschland, Kanada, bei dem U-Boot-Projekt?
Who's that?
I'll start.
Yeah, just that.
Hopefully.
First question, first answer.
Yeah, thank you. I think NATO is prepared in the north right now. And Norway, when we joined NATO and was among the founding fathers of NATO 80 years ago, it was because we know that we cannot defend ourselves. So what we are experiencing now is that our allies, they are more together with Norway in the Arctic. Both the Germans, but also the French, the Brits, and the Americans, they are exercising more together with Norway in the north to be prepared. We are developing fifth generation capabilities. We have the F-35s. Norway has got all over 52 F-35s. We have the P-8 Poseidons. We also now, the submarines are fifth generation, which also will be a part of this multi-domain chain of supporting and building situational awareness in the north. What we are going to develop further the next decades, I would say, is space. So therefore, Norway also, we have a launch site in Andøya, and we're also cooperating a lot with Germany for this site, the ICER project. So building also space into this in a more way in the years to come is important. But I think we are capable to defend every centimeter or inch of NATO territory. NATO and Norway, we are threatening no one. But if someone is trying by aggressive means to enter our territory, the answer will be formidable. We will have a formidable, just the Nordics, we have 250 fighter jets. And we know that both US, Germany, UK, France will come also if they're trying to do something in the north. So I would say we are well prepared, but we will develop this further in the years to come, threatening no one, but just to be clear, we will defend ourselves.
Zu Kanada, als wir vor 1,5 Jahren die nordatlantische maritime Zusammenarbeit verabredet haben zwischen Norwegen, Deutschland und Kanada, hatten wir schon unser U-Boot-Projekt auf dem Weg, aber Kanada war ja noch gar nicht dabei und ist es ja auch heute noch nicht. Deswegen ist das zunächst mal unabhängig voneinander zu betrachten. Aber natürlich ist die nordatlantische maritime Zusammenarbeit noch mal leichter zu gewährleisten und zu operationalisieren für die Jahre, die jetzt auf uns zukommen, mit gemeinsamen oder sehr ähnlichen U-Boot-Systemen. Und Tore hat es ja gerade angesprochen. Wir sind ja mit der F-35, mit der P-8 Poseidon, mit den Fähigkeiten, die wir jetzt beschaffen als Deutschland, dem Combat Management System aus Kanada, für unsere gesamte Marine in der geradezu ideal interoperabel aufgestellt. Und das wollen wir fortsetzen mit diesem U-Boot-Vertrag, den wir den Kanadiern anbieten. Und das ist das Entscheidende. Wir reden eben nicht über den bloßen Verkauf einer bestimmten Zahl von U-Booten. Es geht nicht darum, dass irgendjemand etwas kauft und dann see and forget. Es geht schlicht und ergreifend um viel mehr. Es geht um Kooperation auf Jahrzehnte. Wir reden über 40 bis 50 Jahre, also die Lebensdauer der U-Boote plus ihrer jeweiligen Wartungszeit und Entwicklungszeit vor allen Dingen, die ja weitergeht. Und wenn man das alles zusammennimmt, wird deutlich, bezogen auf den Nordatlantik und auf den Indopazifik, wo wir ja in Singapur auch mit U-Booten von TKMS präsent sind, können wir die ganze Range anbieten von Möglichkeiten. Und gleichzeitig gibt es große Möglichkeiten für Kanada daran auch industriell zu profitieren, Arbeitsplätze zu schaffen, Teile des U-Bootes oder irgendwann das zweite oder dritte Batch sogar ganz alleine zu bauen, mit TKMS zusammen in Kanada. All dafür gibt es eine große Breite von Möglichkeiten. Und deswegen, glaube ich, ist das für alle Seiten ein klassischer Win-Win-Deal oder wäre es.
Murray Brewster, CBC.
Good morning, Ministers. Thank you very much for taking my question. Germany helped set up South Korea's submarine program. I'm wondering if that is a complicating factor from your perspective in terms of the competition, and what is your position on some of the U-212s being built in Canada?
Well, the last point I just mentioned, TKMS emphasized earlier in our discussions with the committees and with Deputy Minister Furr that they are willing to do everything Canada is requiring. If Canada wants to produce now or later, parts or totally, then TKMS will cooperate in a way which is appropriate to the project. And when it comes to the submarine cooperation with South Korea, this is the way things happen. I mean, we cooperate, they build excellent submarines, we build better ones.
Judy Treen, CTV.
Thank you, ministers. One of the South Koreans say they can deliver on time and on budget. The German and Norwegian TKMS project is still in a prototype stage. It's considered by some to be untested. How can you ensure to the Canadians that you can deliver those submarines when we only have one operational submarine right now and most will be obsolete by 2035? The South Koreans are way ahead in that regard.
Well, to be frank, we are in time too, and we are on price too. There's no problems. There are no problems seeable for the future, and TKMS announced earlier that they will be able to produce 3 up to 4. I don't know exactly, but I think 3 up to 4 submarines a year from 27 on. So they are ramping up. They will deliver, and if Canada decides to want to produce on its own territory from which point of time ever, then that's possible too. So I think we can provide a very good submarine, including stealth mode, which is not provided by the South Korean, which is a real benefit in military issues, and of course with a very special impulse machine to stay longer below water than you have even food aboard. So this is really a benefit we can offer, and we can offer made in Germany, proven in the Norwegian-German cooperation, and not to forget, the one thing is maybe the price, $1 cheaper or $2, and the other one is what is the reliable partnership for the decades to come when it comes to Northern Atlantic cooperation?
We have time for 2 more questions. First one goes to Steffen Wurzel, Deutschlandfunk.
Vielen Dank. Frage an Herrn Pistorius. Sie haben eben dargestellt, was die Kanadier haben von einem möglichen U-Boot-Projekt. Vielleicht könnten Sie noch mal darstellen, worum geht es hier für Deutschland im Großen und auch im Konkreten bei diesem U-Boot-Geschäft nach Ihrer Sicht? And question to you, Minister. In Germany, we have been discussing about military service for some weeks now, as you might have heard. If I'm not wrong, you guys in Norway have had compulsory military service for both men and women for 10 years, I guess. Could you maybe tell us the advantages of include both genders into this compulsory military service, and what did Norwegian society do to be actually fine with including also women? Thanks.
Thank you for that question, by the way. Zu Ihrer ersten Frage, es gibt im Wesentlichen 2 Bereiche, die von uns oder 3. Das eine ist, wir sind der größte NATO-Partner in Europa, der zweitgrößte NATO-Partner nach den USA. Unsere Rolle, wenn es um Rüstungsindustrie geht, ist eine bedeutende in vielen Technologien, aber wir sind gerade bei U-Boot-Technologie, genauso wie bei Panzertechnologie, ganz klar führend in der Welt. Und das ist der erste Punkt. Diese Schlüsseltechnologie wollen wir fördern und sichern in Deutschland. Und wir wollen damit auch die verbundenen Industriearbeitsplätze und das Know-how sichern. Durch den Erwerb von Wismar, was übrigens möglich wurde, dadurch, dass es uns doch gelungen ist, im Dezember die weitere U-Boot-Bestellung auf den Weg zu bringen, sind beide Werftstandorte gesichert und erlauben die Kapazitätssteigerung, von denen ich gerade gesprochen habe, nur auf deutschem Gebiet. Dann, wie gesagt, wenn andere Partner sagen, sie wollen, so wie Kanada in Kanada produzieren, würde das die Produktionskapazitäten noch erweitern. Und der dritte Punkt ist, und der ist über alles, finde ich, neben den deutschen Interessen von besonderer Bedeutung. Es geht hier um internationale Kooperation. Wir lernen oder haben gelernt durch den Krieg, den Putin gegen die Ukraine führt, wie elementar Interoperabilität ist und wie sehr wir sie vernachlässigt haben in den letzten Jahrzehnten. Und wenn wir gemeinsam operieren, üben wollen, uns verteidigen wollen, wenn es darauf ankommt, umso wichtiger ist, dass wir bei all den Verteidigungsausgaben, die wir jetzt tätigen in den kommenden Jahren und Jahrzehnten, dass wir das Geld nicht einfach nur ausgeben, sondern besser ausgeben, wie Tore immer so schön sagt. Wir müssen es besser ausgeben und das tun wir, indem wir gemeinsam entwickeln, gemeinsam beschaffen, gemeinsam üben, gemeinsam warten. Das spart Geld, enorme Ressourcen und schafft viele Synergien, auch im Hinblick auf die militärischen Fähigkeiten. Also die 3 Elemente sind es.
Thank you. We are celebrating 10 years of universal conscription in Norway this year. And now I think it's 1/3 is female conscripted soldiers in our military service. What we experience is now when we are ramping up, we are getting more into our reserves. We're getting also more soldiers in Norway. It's easier because we have this 1 year of service, which is compulsory, as I said, for both women and men. So we have lowered the threshold to then go into the military afterwards, so it's easier to recruit when we do it this way. But we also experience another thing. We get better quality because the competition is higher. And we take in 1/6 of the youth every year. We don't need everyone, so we take in 1/6. We can mobilize everyone, but we take in 1/6. So it's competition to be a part of it, and especially now when times are like this. So we experience more motivated soldiers, more diverse, of course, but also clever ones in some. And we also have someone who wants to be a part of this, will get in. And we have someone who said, we won't get in, but you have to go in, because you have to have this obligation also. So our experience is we get better soldiers in different parts of the military services. And what we have done to do this is, women in Norway, they love the country as much as men in Norway. So for us, this is a win-win. There have been challenges. So what we can do for others who's considering this is to share our challenges and how we solve them. But I just met with new recruits a couple of months ago in the north. and they're living together in the barracks. So I say, do you want separate rooms? No. We're a team. We're fighting together. We're doing this together. So I think also we're building also the feeling for the nation together doing this this way.
Thank you. Last question, Rixa Fürsten, Politico.
Dear Ministers, I have a question regarding the offset mechanism. You talked about it, Mr. Sandvik, and I believe you also have experience with this. So what is the interest that Germany and Norway have in Canada? What can they offer, or what can they also extract from the industry here? I believe that South Korea is planning to invest in an e-vehicle infrastructure. So what is the opposite of, or the perks of making business with Germany and Norway?
We are in the middle of the negotiations, and we heard a lot about what could be possible in Canada and in the years to come. And we are talking about, for example, I mentioned a couple of minutes earlier that we will procure the combat management system, which is a really great one from Canada for the entire German Navy, for example. We will procure at least 18 global aircraft in the years to come for use of our fleet of Federal Republic of Germany, and especially for global express, global express, and another couple of aircraft are possible, even a bigger number when it comes to Global Eye. So, for example, and we are very much interested in cooperating in terms of raw materials, about hydro energy, about LNG. So there are several fields of for cooperation which we are exploring at the moment together with our Canadian friends. And to be honest, or to be clear, Germany is already the 6th or the 5th most important investor in Canada, and we want to stay it at least, or even to improve.
For Norway, we are a happy customer and a partner, and Kongsberg is 10% of the contract. And Kongsberg is here in Canada, been here for 50 years, and in all domains, which is important for Norway, for Norway's wealth, but also for the security policy. Kongsberg is operating from the seabed with subsea solutions through the water, and also, of course, in the maritime sector and up in the space. So we see, for Norway mostly, that we can do a lot more together with Canada, and Canada can offer things within AI, which will be important when operating these 5th-generation systems with both submarines, the F-35s, the P-8s, and different systems, which generates a lot of data. Norway is too small to play a big role within AI, but Canada is a stronghold within AI. So, of course, we will, together with the Germans, see what we can offer through Kongsberg for Canada, but also we will offer, and we will do more together with Canada in strategic partnerships in different ways, within minerals and metals, where Canada and Norway has similar challenges and also opportunities. So for Norway, we are sharing for the German project, but also we think we will also see that we can bring offset into this contract. One of the things is building similar submarines, which we can maintain together, we can stockpile together. In crisis and war, stockpiling is one of the most critical things we have to take care of. But also to train crew and do other things together. We have in Norway built a maintenance site at Håkonsvern in Bergen, the naval base. We've been building this, we've been preparing and planning this for 10 years. And we said to Canada, to shorten their time to be ready, also to build the maintenance sites, they can have a blueprint, both the concepts, design for what we have done, not to invent the wheel again, which is of high value, both to shorten the delivery and also to get the maintenance up faster, but also because it's a real value in this.
And I would like to add that I announced 2 weeks ago that Germany will invest 35 billion euros in the 5 years to come in space. So we are very much interested in improving our cooperation, fields of cooperation with Norway, particularly, as he elaborated earlier, and of course with Canada too, when it comes to AI and so on. So we have a broad variety of fields of cooperation.
Thank you, ministers, and thank you for your interest.